Now, I tried for 3 weeks to get that video, and Sage said, I'm not doing the
You
breakfast
have to have the video.
unless you get the video.
No,
So.
I mean, it's one of those, to me, it was one of my favorite all-time moments in sports. How many of you remember where you were? Those of you who were alive, none of you kids. Where you were when Bryce Drew hit that shot, yes? Clark, yeah. I know where you were. What a moment.
Yeah, what a great moment. This is a family business. What do you remember? Your brother was a great tennis player at Butler, from what I was told, but your brother and dad coached you in college. And Bryce was an outstanding player. You remember, he could have gone anywhere. Could have gone to Ohio State or Indiana or Purdue, and you chose to play for your dad at Valpo. Just explain and describe that experience with your brother and your dad.
Wait, real quick. You know why I got hired into coaching? My dad said you're going to live next to him, make his bed, do whatever he needs, make him come to Valpo.
And wait a minute.
Let me tell you how hard,
Go.
how hard it was to recruit this person. I had to go out my back door, go to the front door, so I could knock on the door and go in and give him the sales pitch of why he should come to Valparaiso University. So I knock on the door, my wife comes to the door, opens it up, and I said, I would like to talk to your son. She says, he's not at home, and slammed the door right in my face. So then Scott took over the recruiting.
Are you serious? This is real?
That's a true story.
I'm like envisioning you going out the back door and walking around and really?
And I guess if you slipped him a few dollars of spending money, that's really.
Oh, you should have seen the Christmas gifts he got that year.
Well, Bryce, what was it like to be around your brother and your dad and have the career you had at Valpo?
Yeah, it was nothing like playing for my father and for my brother. But during the recruiting process, my dad took the neutral. He talks, a big game right now, but he really wanted me to be happy. And even in my career, he would come up, be like, do you want to transfer? Do you like being here? He didn't want to feel any responsibility in being at Valpo. Now, Scott, on the other hand, it was 100% one way. There was no other option except to go play at Valpo, for them. And
I still have all those letters from Indiana and everything still in a box that he never got. All right.
Wait.
If you know Scott the way I've got to know him over 20 years, that is probably true. Because he's as good a recruiter as there is, and sometimes he knows how to manipulate the situation.
I mean, listen, Indiana was coming off the Damon Bailey years. We could have used you. Dang it, do-over. Can I ask about, this is a family affair, but certainly you are the award winner today. Coaching with your father. We had Jerry here, we had Dick here, and Kelvin talking about how quickly life flies by. And when you look back at how your coaching career really began, what stands out to you the most about that time?
Well, first and foremost, when you have great memories, you want your family and loved ones to be there. And just like Jerry said, the older you get, your priorities become clearer. And those days were just God ordained, and being able to spend that time with my dad and brother are the best. And I can't thank God enough for allowing me to have that opportunity.
What is it that you took from that time in particular with your family, with Dad, that has propelled you now to, you won a national championship just 2 years ago?
Well, first he's my dad, but he's also my mentor, and just how he did things. And we've been really blessed to have some great coaches at Baylor that have gone on, and Coach Tang hopefully wins National Coach of the Year. He deserves it. Coach McCaslin just got introduced as the Texas Tech head coach. Coach Mills at Wichita State. Coach Driscoll's in the audience. And but the way he runs his program, the way he treats his players, the responsibility he gives his assistant coaches, allow them to be head coaches. So when they become head coaches, they already have been there, done that. I've patterned all that after him. So can't thank him enough for that.
It's really cool. I think we have a special video from somebody you know, Dabo Swinney. And if you can roll that video, we'd love to see it.
Hey everybody, this is Dabo Swinney at Clemson. Scott, really proud of you, man, and appreciate your example that you set for so many people, and just the culture of joy. It's been awesome to watch you guys kind of take a hold of that. Focus on Jesus, focus on others, and then focus on yourself. And that's how you have joy in your journey. And that is the perspective that God wants us to have. So that's the kind of the background of it. And it's really was amazing to me when Coach Drew first reached out and wanted to talk about that. And he was like, you know what, we're going to kind of make a culture of joy. And then to see them go on and win the national championship and to see God be honored through that, really, really cool. So congrats again on winning the John Wooden Keys to Life Award. You deserve it. So God bless all of you, and go Tigers.
He snuck that last part in, I know.
Sage, I lived the season with these teams in the Big 12, and I know this program well. And you know when you hear cliches, and you know sometimes they just throw them out there. When you hear culture of joy,
Yeah.
and you hear the players when they're interviewed, they always talk about Jesus, others, yourself. It's real, it's powerful, it's palpable, you can feel it, you know it when you see it, and I just got to ask you, what is that culture of joy meant to you and your program?
Well, Athletes in Action helped form my walk with Christ, and growing up in the church, very blessed to have a family that raised me in the church, but it was on 2 tours with Athletes in Action where I really got a personal relationship with Christ. And a pastor in town once said this. He said, if you close your eyes, and right now, 1 to 10, how certain are you if you died, you would know you'd go to heaven? And when I sit down with players and how I would have answered that when I was in my 20s, I'd have probably said 7 or 8 because I could pray more, I could go to church more, I could read the Bible more, I could do this, and it was always works. We're not saved by works. It's by grace. It's by His faith. And we want to win the game of life. If you're not a 10, don't leave the room without talking to somebody, because the game of life is by far and away the most important thing. And when we get to heaven, there's no bad officials. There's only wins, and every player goes to class. It's like perfect, all right? So that's all that matters.
Yes, good.
Are you sure? No bad officials. That's the one guarantee, right?
I don't know. I think God's got a sense of humor. When we get up there, you'll probably be yelling at some of those guys. Well, we have another special presentation for you. We have some people that want to honor you. So let's watch the board.
We need to interrupt this broadcast for some breaking news. Scott Drew, the head coach at Baylor, has won the John Wooden Keys to Life Award presented by Athletes in Action. We had to interrupt the broadcast, but it's really not surprising.
No, this is a huge honor.
No-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, a huge honor. Ever since he took over at Baylor, he built that program into a national championship program around the culture of joy, which he kind of picked up from Dabo Swinney, the football coach at Clemson. And you know what? It's the first time, guys, that a father and son have received the Wooden Keys to Life Award. Homer Drew received it a few years ago. So congratulations, Scott. Great honor for you and your whole family.
Scott, congratulations, buddy. I'm proud of you, proud of the husband you are, the father you are, more than the coach you are. You're the best, my man. And keep doing what you do, because if you don't do a good job of it, you're stuck hanging out with knuckleheads like this is what happens to you. Congratulations, brother.
Congratulations, well-deserved. Keep me on the email chain with all the inspirational messages.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing those as they come out. He's the first Twitter. It was way before Twitter, he started doing that.
Scott, number one, congratulations. It couldn't happen to a better guy. I just want to tell you how much admiration and respect I got for you. I mean, obviously, you're the third best coach in your family. But congratulations for this award. And, you know, man, I got to give you a hard time. You and your family are amazing, and it couldn't happen to a better guy. Congratulations.
Yeah, Scott, look, we all love you. We all consider you a great friend. We all admire you. And I know that because you worked in the studio with me in Atlanta one year, you despised that so much, you just were determined to make deep tournament runs and wouldn't have to come into the studio and work with me. So I appreciate that. So we say congratulations, and John Wooden would be proud.
Yes. Well done.
Listen, you got those guys on a set. You know you're going to take some heat, right? It's not just going to be, oh, congratulations, all of them. Beautiful, and of course, Clark honored last year. I mean, it is really special to see, and I love it when people put everything else aside, right? And the competitiveness and the core is what really matters. Can I put Dad on the spot and ask you? I know how proud you are.
Yes.
But when you sit here and you sit next to both boys, Scott today in particular, and reflect on not just what he's done, but how he's done it, and the fact that you two are the only father-son to win this award, what comes to mind?
Well, obviously very proud, but I was proud of him when he was 3 or 4 years old and he was learning how to fish, because he had that persistency, the determination that has allowed him to go on and become very successful. The other thing is, I hope that some of you who have not read his book, The Road to Joy, is fabulous because of Jesus, Others, Yourself. And as a father, they've had great success, both sons. But what I am most proud of, one is their faith in Jesus through Jesus, Others, Self. When Bryce hit the shot, he dove on the floor, and I asked him why, and he said it was the closest place I could get to say thank you, Lord, because he knew that that was God's power through him. And the second thing is, they're much better sons than they are coaches, and that warms Dad's heart a great deal.
Wow, thank you.
Fran, Bryce, you have a smile on your face. I know it's also because you're proud, but are there any parting shots you need to get into your brother on stage? Because you keep giving him this eyeball over here.
There's definitely a lot of shots. Yeah, I'm a little brother. He's 4 years old. You can imagine what that's like growing up. His friends
Show him those
outside.
scars you got.
Yeah. Football, basketball, getting beat down all the time. But the one thing he's my brother. I'm really proud. But he hasn't changed. You know, the same 12-year-old when I was 8 that we played outside, the same energy, the same charisma, the same influence that he had on me then is the exact same I have now. And through the years, as a brother, you have a special relationship of respect, of admiration. He's a mentor in a lot of ways, and it's just grown stronger through the years. And so I'm a little brother who's really proud, and just, again, so thankful for you, Scott, for all you do for me.
Sage, this is a hard job. College coaching is a hard job. Lots of highs and lows, honestly. We all know that. A lot of coaches out here. He probably has some bad days, but you would never, ever, ever know that Scott Drew has a bad day. That's how he lives his life. It's a life based in faith, obviously, and family. And I'm so proud to call him a friend. So proud to see him up here with Dad and his brother. And we couldn't have a better John Wooden Keys to Life Award winner for 2023 than Coach Scott Drew. Thank you, Scott. Congrats.
Thank you.
If I could say one last thing, everything is a team award. It's always players, staff, and everything. And he said I don't have any bad days. There were 1 or 2 times I think I called you at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you set me straight, and we finished the day well. So thank you as well.
Got it.
Honestly, though, to me, it's just special. And you are here, and you feel it, and you're with the coaches all year round. And I'm from a distance in some small town in the middle of nowhere, Connecticut, watching. And I will say, forget that. As a fan, it is so refreshing to see people like you win because of, again, the choices that you have made. This is all a choice, how we choose to live our faith and how we choose to treat others and doing things the right way. Scott Drew, it's a blessing. Congrats again.
Let's give Coach a hand. Congratulations.
You're good. Either way. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bryce Drew! I finally get to meet Bryce Drew. Oh my gosh. See, the fangirl, it's okay.
Yeah,
we're fans first. Forget this media thing.
Where were you when he hit? Were you in Indianapolis working?
I was working in Indianapolis. The dream at the time was to get to ESPN to be able to call those highlights. Eventually it did happen, but I was working at Wish TV, the CBS thing in Indianapolis, and I had no money and a little TV that I had to go up. And the video was basically black and white. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, was it? But I remember I cried. I cried.
Yeah,
And I think it's just more because of the joy of seeing other people joyful, you know?
That's why we love
And that's what it was.
I mean, the Valpo shot, all the great moments in the NCAA tournament is why we love this tournament so much. It's real life. It's what do they call it? Reality TV. It's reality TV because you never know what you're going to get. This year we got these 4 unique teams.